Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Outer Rim Cantina. My name is Alan, and today I wanted to talk about the brand new cover that was just revealed for issue number 2 of the Rise of Kylo Ren 4-part comic series. A few months ago, it was announced that Charles Soule would be writing a comic miniseries focusing on Ben Solo's fall to the dark side and transformation into Kylo Ren. One of my biggest complaints of the sequel trilogy is that they haven't spent enough time building out characters like Kylo, and instead just throw us in the middle of their story. This comic series looks like it'll be alleviating that by finally giving us some background on one of the main characters of the new trilogy. The series doesn't officially start until December 18th, with issue number 2 not coming out till January, but Charles Soule gave us a little preview of the second issue by showing us the official cover. When he posted this to Twitter the other day, everyone went mad. Yes, that is Luke Skywalker and Ben Solo standing back to back fighting the Knights of Ren. Just the cover and short description of the comic gives us a brand new perspective on both Luke Skywalker and Ben Solo's story, as well as some more background on the Knights of Ren. According to the comic's description, quote, "With the new Jedi school in ruins, fellow students hot on his trail for the murder of their master, Ben Solo flees to the only friend he has left in the galaxy, a man named Snoke. But Snoke has plans for Ben, and ideas about the Force that are as dangerous as they are intriguing for the troubled young Jedi. If Ben wishes to truly be free, the answers might lie with the dark side, and with the Knights of Ren. But it won't be the first time he's tangled with the Knights. In the past, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker journeys to the unknown regions and brings young Ben along for the mission. Can even Luke Skywalker stand up against the fabled Knights of Ren?" End quote. Just in that short description of the story, we now know that the Knights of Ren did exist before Kylo became their, quote, master, and that they were not former students of Luke Skywalker, and they were previously Ben's enemies. It'll be interesting to see how Kylo becomes the master of the Knights of Ren, considering they had been enemies in the past. Would the Knights know it was Ben Solo who became Kylo Ren? Because based on what we know, it doesn't seem like the Knights are under the control of Snoke, so I don't think Snoke could have been like, "Hey, this is your new leader. Yeah, you might have tried to kill him at one point, but now he's in charge." I just don't really see the Knights going along with something like that. On top of that, we now have yet another perspective on the Jedi School destruction, on top of Luke and Kylo's perspectives. This shoots down a popular sequel trilogy theory that Ben had gotten a few of Luke's students to follow him on his path to the dark side, and eventually become the Knights of Ren, and kill the other students and burn the school. We know that Ben was chased from the temple by Luke's students because they thought he had murdered their master. This, though, raises the question of who exactly set fire to the temple. Was it one of Snoke's agents? Was it the Knights of Ren? Or someone else entirely? Based on this new information we have, it doesn't seem likely that Ben would have had a chance to set fire to the temple since he was chased out by the other Jedi. But if those Jedi left the temple unguarded while they were chasing Ben, that would have given someone else the opportunity to come in and burn the temple, forcing those students to flee because they were under the impression that Luke had already been killed. The last thing I wanted to point out from the cover of issue number 2 is that Luke isn't using his own lightsaber that we see in Return of the Jedi, Battlefront 2, etc. I'm not quite sure if that it's just an art thing for the comic cover and that'll be changed when the official issue releases, or if there's another reason behind Luke not having his lightsaber. Hopefully, if it's just an art thing, it'll be corrected come January, but if it's part of the story, I hope it will at least be touched on, if not fully explained in the comic itself, but we'll just have to wait and see. I'm excited for this series to finally begin, so we can learn more about Ben Solo's fall to the dark side after we see his redemption back to the light in The Rise of Skywalker, hint hint. That's all I've got to say about this new comic cover and description. We don't know much yet, but the little bit of information we do have is quite interesting and honestly changes my and a lot of other people's perspective on Ben's story in the sequel trilogy. As always, I'd love to know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed this video or any of the other content on my channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like on the video, as those really do help a small channel like this, and consider subscribing if you want more Outer Rim Cantina content in your subscription feed every week. That's all the time I've got today. I hope to see you back here in the cantina next week for more Star Wars videos. Until then, may the Force be with you.